Bonjour YouTube, welcome back to our channel. Today we're in Lyon for the first time, so let's go and discover the city with us. On y va! So we're eating a little bit because we haven't eaten, we had to leave early. The train is in about, I don't know if you guys are gonna hear us, so I'm not gonna record a lot. I'm recording from the phone. Thank you, with your suitcase. Anyway, we're waiting for the train. We're gonna be taking an Italian train today because it was cheaper than the French train. And it's gonna be really cool because it's red and beautiful. We'll show you. Anyway, we're having croissant. Sinan is having pain suisse and coffee. The train design reminded us of a red Ferrari, and it was super fast. Although I personally find TGV to be a smoother ride, but this one felt rather comfortable too. Having a quiet cabin is a huge plus though, and the fact that there is a trolley service with drinks and snacks is amazing. Aside from the full itinerary that we've booked for Lyon, we were going to attend Kylie Minogue's Tension World Tour show. I've seen her a couple of times already and been a huge fan of her music since I was a teenager. Plus, Sinan has never seen her live, so I thought it would be an excellent reason to finally visit Lyon.
2 hours later, we arrived in Lyon. It is our first time here, so we are mega excited. Also, these trams are so cute. They look like white worms crawling through the streets. First, we came to the Place Bellecour to pick up our Lyon City Card, which gives you access to at least 27 museums along with other activities, plus the public transport. Honestly, you save a lot of money with this card, and we highly recommend it. Here, we were greeted by the equestrian statue of Louis XIV. It was built by the Lyonnese sculptor François-Frédéric Lemont.
As our tradition, we've managed to find Louis XIV, Louis XIV, the King of France, and we start our visit in Lyon.
It was melted in Paris, transported to Lyon in 12 days, then pulled by 24 horses and installed on October 29, 1825.
From Bellecour we crossed the Saône River into Vieux Lyon, the old town. It's amazing how comfy, cozy and small Lyon feels, even though it is the country's third largest city. Rising before us is La Cathédrale et Primatiale Saint-Jean Baptiste, Lyon's spiritual anchor. Built between 1175 and 1481, this cathedral represents a mix of Roman and Gothic styles. But this site has been sacred for far longer, since at least the 4th century, when Christianity first took root in Roman Lugdunum, the name of Lyon at the time. The archbishops of the city carried the rare title of Primate of the Gauls, marking this as the highest ecclesiastical seat in France. Over the centuries, this cathedral was the theatre of important political and historical events. In 1245, the first council of Lyon was held here, summoned by Pope Innocent IV. It was during this council that Holy Roman Emperor Frederick II was excommunicated, a defining moment in the clash between papacy and the empire.
In 1305, Pope Clement V was consecrated here, before relocating the papal court to Avignon.
Pope Jean XXII was crowned here 11 years later. On December 13, 1600, the cathedral housed the marriage of Henri IV and Marie de Médicis, while Richelieu received his cardinal's bar in 1622. Saint-Jean Baptiste Cathedral also features remarkable stained glass windows dating from the early 12th century. The central rosette of the facade is particularly admirable.
Some of the windows were unfortunately destroyed during the German bombardment of all Lyon bridges just before the liberation of 1944, hence the contrasting look of the medieval stained windows and the contemporary creations.
But what draws the eye the most is the remarkable astronomical clock. Especially known for the 19 automations that come to life at specific times, this jewel of clockwork consists of several dials giving the precise time and the full date. It also indicates the positions of the moon, the sun, and the earth, as well as that of the stars above Lyon. This clock also provides information on religious festivals and liturgical calendar. Legend has it that in the 5th century, Theodoric, king of the Ostrogoths, gave the Church of Lyon a water clock, clepsydre. However, the first attested mention of the presence of the clock in the Primatiale dates from the 15th century. It has since been repaired and improved many times by Lyon and Swiss watchmakers. As we exited the cathedral, it became apparent why this whole quartier of Lyon is under UNESCO protection.
The old buildings tell the stories that date back to medieval and Renaissance periods. In center of the square stands the beautiful and exceptionally elegant La Fontaine Saint-Jean.
Created in 1844 by the local Louis du Pasquier to replace the old fountain demolished a few years earlier, La Fontaine Saint-Jean fits perfectly its surroundings and feels as if it was built together with the cathedral and the neighboring buildings. This is largely thanks to its neoclassical style that was popular in the 19th century.
Passing by the ruins of the old church of Saint-Étienne, destroyed during the French Revolution, we made our way to the river cruise with Bateau Lyonnais. We normally don't go on river cruises and never did one in Paris, but we thought, why not do it in Lyon? And it only takes an hour anyway. This cruise was to take us upstream on Saône, one of the two rivers that meet at the end of Presqu'île Peninsula of Lyon.
I like the name Presqu'île. It literally translates to almost island from French. As the boat glides upstream, the city's topography becomes a storybook. On the left, we pass the monumental Palais de Justice, built by Louis-Pierre Baltard between 1835 and 1845. It features 24 columns, with some people saying that it represents justice that never sleeps and is always awake 24 hours a day. This was the site of the 1987 trial of Klaus Barbie, the Gestapo officer known as the Butcher of Lyon. Rising to the northeast, we begin to glimpse the hill known as La Croix-Rousse, where its streets, allées, Traboules, and Boulevard still carry the history of the Canute. The colorful tones of the facades call back to the large number of Italians who came here back in the day and brought their architectural influences with them. The buildings here are bright with large windows and ceilings going up to 4 meters to accommodate the large machines of the silk workers.
The history of silk in Lyon began back in the 16th century under Francois I, but it was at the end of 18th and beginning of the 19th century that silk production really put Lyon on a map. Napoleon I put out a decree in 1805 nationalizing the original condition of silks of Mopa and suppressed the competitors.
The public condition of silks would begin to process about 30 tons of silk per month from 1806, with many orders being directly from Napoleon for the court and the army. This would put La Fabrique Lyonnaise to gradually regain its place as the European capital of silk. As a result, La Croix-Rousse was called the hill that works, and that of Fourvière that faces it, the hill that prays. We will go there in the second part of this trip, so make sure to subscribe and activate notification bell to see it first when it's published.
As we headed in the opposite direction towards La Confluence, the imprint of time and modernization of Lyon became more apparent.
The southern end of the Presqu'île Peninsula takes its historic roots all the way back to the late 17th century, when Louis XIV's favorite architect, Jules Hardouin Mansart, planned on draining the marshy areas at the confluence of the city's two rivers. His plan never took off for the multitude of reasons, including financial and technological challenges, but the peninsula was not left alone, and by 1769, the project of Antoine Michel Perrache would eventually be approved by Louis XV. The construction began in 1772 and would last nearly 70 years. In 1840, the district was finally ready, housing industrial activities, municipal services, and the second grand rail station of the city, Perrache.
And although this district lived with an unattractive and marginal reputation in the 20th century, today it has been revitalized into a modern part of Lyon, housing shopping centers, offices of international companies, and the beautiful science and anthropology Musée de Confluence that is one of the most iconic modern landmarks of the city. While our boat was making a turn to go back to Vieux Lyon, it was an additional bonus to see the two distinct colors of the two rivers meeting each other. The darker one is of Saône, and the lighter one of Rhône, thanks to its high mountain sources.
So we just got off the cruise. What do you think?
I don't know, but we stay under the sun for an hour. I have a nausea because the guide was speaking in French, in English at the same time. So I understand both and my brain's just all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
And on top of it, it was so hot. I don't know. I'm nauseous at the moment. So
I think it's just the river. He's not used to the flow of the water. We're gonna go pass by the store quickly, and then we're gonna go and check out the old city, the old town, Vieux Lyon. So let's go. And I almost forgot. We recommend this cruise. It's nice. Back on land, we return to the Old Lyon and its largest Renaissance district in France. This whole area is classified as UNESCO Heritage Site, and it's obvious why. In the 15th and 16th centuries, Lyon became a major European hub for silk production, banking, and printing. Many of the wealthy residents were Italian, merchants from Florence, Lucca, and Genoa. They brought not just money, but Renaissance architecture and arched galleries.
But we are here to find one of Lyon's famous Traboules. What is a Traboule? Traboules are covered passageways that cut through buildings and connect streets via courtyards and spiral stairs. They originated in the 4th century and expanded during the Renaissance to allow silk weavers to carry fragile fabrics while protected from wind and rain. We entered one of the most famous ones, La Longue Traboule, starting at 54 Rue Saint-Jean. It winds through 4 buildings and several interior courtyards. The walls are worn, the arches rounded, the steps uneven, unchanged for centuries. During the Second World War, this Traboule became crucial to la Résistance française. Nazi soldiers, unfamiliar with Lyon geography, struggled to track partisans through these hidden routes. These Traboules gave shelter, escape, and advantage, and Lyon became known as the capital of the resistance. Today they are far calmer and are mainly used by the locals and some tourists. But if you decide to visit, please remember that people live above these spaces, so don't make any noise and try to remain quiet. Our final stop for today is le Musée des Arts de la Marionnette, housed in Hôtel de Gadagne, a 16th century hotel particulier. Formerly called Hôtel de Pierre-Vive, this mansion was built by the Pierre-Vive brothers during the Renaissance. It was then bought by a rich family of Florentine bankers, the Gadagne, hence its current name. The complex is effectively divided into 2 parts, one, Museum of History and of Lyon, and the other, the Museum of Art of Puppets.
The History Museum covers the past of Lyon from the Middle Ages, Renaissance, 17th to 20th centuries. The major territorial and urban changes of Lyon are highlighted, making it possible to understand the economic, social, religious, or cultural evolutions that happened in the city. Le Musée des Arts de la Marionnette, with its 9 rooms, provides a real panorama of the figures and techniques of traditional puppets in the world. The museum contains more than 2,000 puppets from across the globe.
But its heart lies with one character, Guignol. Guignol was created in 1808 by Laurent Murguet, former silk worker turned dentist, then street performer. Murguet invented the character to entertain and distract his patients. Guignol, with his wooden head and quick wit, became the voice of Lyon's working class. Witty, rebellious, and sometimes subversive, Guignol commented on politics, landlords, and social issues, always with humor.
The museum brings this legacy to life with mechanical stages, antique marionettes, and interactive exhibits. It's a very different experience, but we enjoyed it, although in places it got rather creepy and yet somehow hilarious. As we finished our visit and got back out into the sunlight, it was time for us to rush back to our apartment in Perrache and then head out to see Kylie. So we're done walking around and we realized that we don't even have time to eat or to have any dinner or anything like that because we have Kylie Minogue to catch because we came to Lyon for Kylie Minogue, and so we ended up getting just the salad quickly. We're gonna eat it right now and then we're gonna go to the concert, and then once we come back we'll probably record something, our emotions or whatever. But if we don't record, thank you so much for joining us. This is our first day in Lyon, and if you like this episode, give us a like, share and subscribe, and until the next one, au revoir.